Okay, here's Kane Fitzgerald.
Double technical fouls, Porzingis and Morris. That's Porzingis' second. He's been ejected.
That one, remember, because he punched that air, so Porzingis has been out of the game. That's an automatic ejection.
You know, and he had 2 weak technical fouls.
Yep.
I hate ejections in the playoffs.
It's time to talk about one of the more slept-on NBA teams right now. And I know ESPN covers Luka all the time, and there's a whole bunch of analysts that like to predict his future and what player he can become, but I'm talking more about the team as a whole because they had a great offseason, and a lot of people are sleeping on them. The first move they made was trading Seth Curry for Josh Richardson, and even though I like Seth Curry, the Dallas Mavericks have a bunch of guards that can replace his production. They have Trey Burke, Tim Hardaway Jr., and Josh Richardson gives them more options because he can play the 2 or the 3. He's not as good of a shooter as Seth Curry is, but he's still a really damn good shooter, and he definitely gives great production on offense. Another move they made was trading for James Johnson, who's a very efficient power forward that can shoot the 3 ball pretty well. This team should have no trouble with spacing since Kristaps Porzingis and James Johnson can both shoot the 3 and stretch the floor and give Luka plenty of space to operate. Overall, this team should have no trouble scoring on offense. I mean, we saw them push the Clippers to 6 games last year in the bubble. I mean, granted, Pandemic P was a thing, but at the same time, you can't discredit the Dallas Mavericks because if Kristaps doesn't get ejected in that game 1, who knows what happens with that series. We know how they are on offense, but how are they on defense? Well, this is another way that Josh Richardson being traded for Seth Curry makes a big difference for the Dallas Mavericks because over time, Josh Richardson became a great defender in Philly. A healthy Kristaps Porzingis is a great shot blocker, a great rim protector, and an okay perimeter defender, but he does need to stay attached to his man off the ball though. He allows a lot of catch and shoot opportunities that are wide open, which can kill your team, especially in this era of NBA basketball. As far as the other guys on the roster, they're pretty average defenders. You got a little bit above average and you got a couple that are below average, but overall, they're not going to be terrible defensively. Like, they'll be respectable, but don't expect them to lock you up every night. I still would have liked to see them grab Jay Crowder or Jeremy Grant to help bolster up that defense a little bit more, but they have a very high power offense that's going to have a lot of spacing and a lot of shooting. There's a lot of playoff teams, but there's only one clear favorite, and that's obviously the Lakers. The Clippers lost Montrezl Harrell, and we still don't know what they're going to be with Tyronn Lue at the head coaching position. So with that being said, I would not be surprised at all if the Dallas Mavericks made a big impact in this coming postseason. We already know what we're going to get from Luka, and we basically already know what we're going to get from Porzingis, but he does have to stay healthy so that way he can be ready for the postseason. He can't be coming in and out of the lineup all the time. He has to work on his health and work on his conditioning and be able to stay in the game. I would not be surprised at all to see the Mavericks make a deep run in this postseason and maybe upset one of the better teams. They have an MVP candidate on their team. They have an all-star on their team. They have a good defense and a great offense. They're looking good, and they made a lot of good moves this offseason. They're also well coached, and they have championship experience in their organization. But with that, I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of the Dallas Mavericks' potential this season? Do you think they can make a deep run in the postseason? Obviously, they're not going to be the title favorites. I mean, the Lakers just got so much better. But let me know where you think the Dallas Mavericks stands with the rest of the league. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe for more NBA content just like this. And I will see you in the next upload.